What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here, and I wanted to do a couple of quick videos taking a look at the beta for Monster Hunter Wilds and introduce you to all 14 of the weapons. Now, I've had a lot of people in streams that have not played a Monster Hunter game before, but they're curious to learn more about it, and I think the most daunting part of it, aside from handling all the various items you have to deal with, is deciding what weapon you want to use. There are 14 different weapons, each of them very distinct, but all of them are a lot of fun. And so I wanted to do these mini videos just taking a in-depth look at each of the weapons and giving you an idea of how to play them. For the first video, we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorites, and that is dual blades. Now, dual blades, I feel, are probably the most beginner-friendly weapon. They are very simple, there's not a lot of resource management, and there's not a whole lot to the moveset, but it is a very satisfying weapon that has the ability to dodge through a lot of monster attacks. It has can be played either physical or elemental, and it just pumps out a lot of consistent damage. So all in all, it is a lot of fun to play. Now, at a base level, your dual blade moveset isn't all that much. We have double slash return stroke, and circle slash, and then we have lunging strike and spinning slash. But to be honest, you're never really going to be using those. Now, the main aspect of dual blades is something called demon mode. When we hit right trigger, we enter demon mode, and you'll notice we now have demon flurry rush into spinning slash into double round slash, and then we have twofold into sixfold demon slash, just an enhanced moveset. You'll also notice we have this quick dash as opposed to a rolling dodge. Now, one of the biggest things with demon mode is when we are in that, our stamina, which is that yellow gauge at the top, is going to steadily drain. It's also going to drain as we do our dodge around. So the idea is you want to go into demon mode. As you attack, you're going to build up those swords that are right before. So we have the green gauge, that's health. We have stamina, we have sharpness, and then there's two swords that kind of get a red glow. That is going to be our demon gauge. And the basic gist here is we want to do attacks in demon mode to build up that gauge, which will then enhance us and allow us to go into something known as arc demon mode. And once we're in arc demon mode, we will have an enhanced moveset that we can then utilize, and we'll basically go back and forth. Now, I just got to find something that I can actually hit here real fast just to show this off. We're going to just look for some endemic life real fast. There's usually some that's like right out here, but for whatever reason, it looks like they're still out on the plane, so we'll just run on over to them. So once we start attacking, you'll notice that we have those swords that are filling up, and that is our demon mode gauge. And now it is filled up. So if I were to hit right trigger and come out of demon mode, you'll notice that I now have the same dash that I had in demon mode. I now have the demon flurry rush. While I still have the basic attacks with triangle, you'll notice they're a little bit enhanced. And so maintaining demon mode and arc demon mode is your #1 priority while playing as dual blades. Being in this stance is also going to give us a variety of effects. If we go into play guide and weapon controls over to dual blades, it does kind of a breakdown of everything. You can spend more time looking through this, but you can see attack, movement speed, and evasion are all boosted. You're also immune to knockdowns. And so anyway, this is the main thing. We want to get into demon mode. Now, besides that, we also have access to something that's known as a depth dodge. I think it has a slightly different name here, but it's been a depth dodge forever. And what that means is in demon mode or in arc demon mode, when we do that little side dash, if we do that through an enemy's attack, we're going to get a blue aura. We're going to get pure iframes as we dash through that attack. And then from that point on, anytime we do a little dash, it's also going to attack the enemy while we're doing it. And this is what makes this such a beginner-friendly weapon. You have iframes on your dashes once you get that up. We have constant attack and constant damage output that's going out from the dual blades. And besides that, the only thing to really look at is going to be your sharpness, which is that green bar, and then your stamina, which is the yellow bar that's right above it. Once again, health, stamina, sharpness. Now, besides that, our big damage combo is going to be a transition between two main attacks, which we'll talk about once I get this gauge full. Now, previously in prior Monster Hunter entries, what you would do is you would do triangle and circle to enter Blade Dance, and then from Blade Dance you could go into Blade Dance 2 and Blade Dance 3. Alternatively, when you are in Arc Demon mode, you have Demon Flurry 1 and Demon Flurry 2. But as part of Wilds, we now have the ability to combine those. And so what we're going to do is essentially hit triangle and circle, and then we're just going to hit right trigger to go like we're going 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. So to show what this looks like. So it's an extended combo. On top of that, because we're alternating back and forth between the stances, our stamina isn't going to drain as much. And another really important aspect about this combo is we have the ability to reposition during it. Now, if you're already in focus mode, I like to have focus mode on toggle. You can set that in the options, but this will just make it so you're aiming wherever you look, as opposed to free running, which I think will make it a lot easier for players that are newcomers to the franchise. But once we start this combo, if I hold my stick in a direction, I'm going to move in that direction during the second and fourth parts of the combo. So to show what I'm talking about here, this is the first part. I'm holding left, moved left, now I'm holding right, moved right. So basically when I go into Archdemon, those transitions are going to give me mobility to pick a different direction to go to. And what's so nice about this is you can use this to stay exactly where you want on the monster. You know, let's say you're sitting here and you're hitting the monster's face, and then it's readying up a big attack. You'll be able to dash on over and start attacking its leg or its tail or something else and maintain that combo. The only other thing to keep in mind is going to be your focus strike turning tide. As long as you are in focus mode, which once again is going to be the left trigger, you just hit R1 to do this, and all that's going to do is hit the monster. When it has a weak point, this will go into a crazy attack on Titan move where you're going to grappling hook onto the monster, and it's going to be very flashy. The whole move will be executed automatically. The only thing you need to do is quite literally just hit R1. You hit R1 and then boom, you're just going into this entire wild attack. So very, very fun to do. And that's going to really be it for Dual Blade. Like I said, this weapon it's very easy to pick up and learn. While we're getting the quest started up, we're just going to be hunting the basic monster here, because the goal is to keep these videos short and sweet. You know, ideally, if I can keep them as close to possible, as close as possible to 10 minutes, that would be ideal. So we're just going to be hunting Chotacabras for all 14 of them. But you know, like I said, the goal here is really just to introduce you to a new weapon if you're a newcomer to the franchise. If you're a veteran, you already know what you're talking about. You don't need this video. So I'm going to be going a little bit slower on these hunts, trying to kind of give a cognitive walkthrough, if you will, a bit of like a play-by-play as I'm doing them, so that you have an idea of like, oh, you know, that's what he's doing and why. Because I know it can definitely feel very overwhelming when you're watching Monster Hunter and you don't know what the hell's going on. So my stamina is good. If it wasn't, I would eat a well-done steak. That's probably the #1 mistake I see new players make in Monster Hunter. Always eat food to get your health and stamina up. So going on into combat, I'm going to preemptively put up my demon mode, and then I'm going to dash in, and I'm going to start using my triangle attacks and working in my circle attacks and my triangle attacks. And the only thing I'm focused on right now is just building up that gauge. If I have an opportunity to dodge, I'll try and dodge through that attack to get the buff I was talking about. See if I can get it right here. Normally I would be attacking right now, but I really want to try and get the dodge. And I whiffed the dodge. Let's try it again. You can see now, anytime I hit X, I'm able to dodge through. And this is doing damage and evading the monster. So I'm just going to go in, hit triangle and circle, and I'm going to start executing that combo that we talked about. He's got a weak point, so I'm going to aim for that, hit R1. He ended up moving a little bit, so I'm going to have to reposition it. There we go. Now, everything you're seeing right now, this is all automatic. All that from just hitting R1. Now my demon mode went down, so I got to get that back up. Remember, we don't want to do our big combo until we have demon mode up, because we want to make sure that we maintain that. So we're just getting a couple attacks in. Demon mode is up. We got a fresh weak spot. He's going to jump. I'm going to dodge through. Going to go ahead and get that weak point. And now we're going to get big hits in. I'm going to dash back in with circle. And while we got a good opportunity here, I'm going to dash in again. Restart that combo on top of his head. He's got another weak point, so R1 once again. And I know it seems like a lot, but all I'm really doing here is anytime I do this, that's just me hitting circle. And then besides that, I'm hitting circle and triangle to initiate that, and then using the right trigger to just continually switch between demon and archdemon, exactly like we talked about at the start of the video. Hit circle and triangle, and now I'm just doing the right trigger again. kind of dashing through that. Remember, we have the ability to move during that combo a little bit, so use the sidestep to reposition myself. Could have dodged there, tried to hit the wrong button. And a big thing with these dodges is it's, you know, you're going to dodge into the attack. You want to kind of, like, the tongues are very easy to hit because the idea is I'm dodging through the tongue. There's the punches I tend to dodge out. Now, if you get in trouble, we're just going to back out and we're going to go ahead and heal. So we'll go to our Mega Potion. Alternatively, if you have optimal health recovery set on your radio bar, you could go ahead and do that. We'll top off. And actually, our sharpness is already at yellow, so we're going to go ahead and fix that up as well. Now, sharpness is really important in Monster Hunter, because if your weapon's sharpness gets too low, you're going to start bouncing off of the monster. So if it gets low, go ahead, find a safe spot. We got this nice rock between us. It gives us a good opportunity to get a sharpen off. And now we're going to go back to building up that demon gauge. He's got a couple of weak points. We're at full health, we're at full sharpness. He's covered in weak points, and we're just going to keep doing those focus strikes. Just hitting him, pumping him full of damage right now. Let's see, we're just breaking up all those weak points. If you have a ledge nearby with dual blades, you can actually hit X to jump off of it and kind of do a more simple variation of that move. So just to show that off again, it's a fun thing with dual blades. You just hit X and dash off a ledge, and then you can hit triangle to do kind of like a finisher attack after you do that as well. So if something is, you know, floating up in the air trying to get away from you, you might be able to dash after it that way and catch its tail. But, you know, not a whole lot to this weapon. You know, it's very simple, but despite that, I think it's one of the most satisfying weapons to play. You know, getting down a timing for when you should hit your adept dodge and maintaining that, and then getting your big attack on Titan, spin to win down the enemy. All in all, it's just a very, very satisfying weapon, and I think there are very few weapons that get me as hyped as dual blades. Especially because I tend to make, I make multiple, you know, since it's a weapon that plays very well as elemental, I'll have like a pair of fire dual blades, I'll have ice dual blades, thunder dual blades, I'll make one for literally every element, and then I'll switch between them depending on what I'm hunting. And I think that creates a very fun grind, like, oh, you know, I got my fire dual blades just got an upgrade. And you add on the new focus strike we got. Want to hit me? Oh, he's putting out the tongue. Bad mistake. And now he's down. But that's dual blades. I mean, pretty much the definition of death by 1,000 cuts. Very, very aggressive weapon. Very fun to just, you know, you're dodging everything. You're constantly pumping damage. Very flashy. And like I said, one of the nice things is that you can play this as elemental or physical. So if you really want to lean into a monster's weakness, like this guy is weak to thunder. So if I had thunder dual blades, he would be getting absolutely cooked. Parts of him would be like exploding off from all the extra elemental damage. We'd be having a lot of fun with that. But either way, we're going to wrap this one up here. I'm probably just going to go down and do these in the order of weapons I enjoy the most. So I'll probably be doing Switch Axe next, but going to keep them short and sweet, close things out. Thanks for coming by. If you have any questions, drop them below. I'd be happy to answer. I'll catch you next time.